We want to get you back to this breaking news from the Vatican. As we learned this morning, Pope Francis has died.
The 88-year-old was the first non-European pontiff in nearly 1,300 years. The announcement of his death has come kind of as a shock to many, even though he had been sick. He was seen yesterday by thousands of Catholics as he made an appearance during Easter services at St. Peter's Square.
So this morning, NBC's Mark Barger has a look back at his life and legacy.
Cardinal Jorge Mario Bergoglio
Buonasera.
was elected Pope when Pope Benedict abruptly resigned in 2013. Bergoglio chose the name Francis after St. Francis of Assisi, known for his poverty and humility. Francis was the first pope to come from Latin America and the first to take the name Francis. In his opening appearance as Pope, he asked that people pray for him. Francis became the leader of an estimated 1.2 billion Roman Catholics at a time of a number of conflicts for the Church: a sex abuse scandal, a financial scandal in the Vatican Bank, and conflicts over the issues of abortion, homosexuality, and the role of women in the Church. Within days of beginning his papacy, Francis made choices that revealed he would be a different kind of pope. He shunned the regal garments and trappings of previous popes, he paid his own hotel bill in person, and he chose to live in a modest apartment instead of the lavish papal residence. It was clear from the start that Francis loved interacting. He kissed children, wore hats from the crowd, and posed for pictures.
Don't get tired of bringing the mercy of the Father to the poor, the sick, the abandoned.
Within the first year of his papacy, he apologized to victims of sexual abuse by priests and set up a committee that included lay people to investigate sex crimes by priests. The wave of sexual abuse scandals within the Church proved to be the greatest crisis of Francis' tenure. In 2015, he was criticized for supporting a Chilean bishop who was accused of covering up sex crimes against minors. Francis later admitted mishandling the situation and asked for forgiveness. Another abuse bombshell rocked the Catholic Church in 2018. A scathing grand jury report detailed decades of sexual abuses by priests in Pennsylvania.
Holy Father knows this is very serious. Holy Father knows this can shake the faith of the people in the pews.
The Vatican condemned the abuse as criminally and morally reprehensible and said Pope Francis was on the side of the victims. Through it all, Francis maintained his reputation as a reformer. He set up a hand-picked committee of 8 cardinals to discuss reforming the Vatican bureaucracy. He made headlines for his apparent acceptance of homosexuality and for warning about the dangers of climate change. Pope Francis also played a key role in the talks to restore full diplomatic relations between the U.S. and Cuba in 2014. He also spoke frequently about the importance of women in the Catholic Church and changed the Church's stance on the death penalty, declaring it unacceptable in all cases. Having had part of one lung removed as a young man, Francis had long battled health problems, especially bouts of acute bronchitis in winter. In recent years, he had been using a wheelchair, walker, or cane when moving around his apartment. Mark Barger, NBC News.
And as news of this is just breaking here on Easter Monday, a holiday obviously for the Catholic faith, we're waiting to see if there are any masses that will be held here this morning locally, and we of course will continue to follow this story here all morning.
Yeah.